The unexpected call. Dr. Elena Rees hunched over her microscope, lost in the intricate dance of alien cellular structures. The soft hum of her lab's equipment faded into background noise as she focused on unraveling the mysteries of a particularly stubborn xenobiological sample. Her dedication to understanding extraterrestrial life forms had earned her a reputation as Earth's leading xenobiologist, but even she couldn't have predicted the adventure that awaited her. The harsh buzz of her comm unit shattered her concentration. Elena straightened, stretching muscles stiff from hours of work, and tapped the flashing green icon. The holographic seal of the Galactic Council materialized above her desk, its intricate design a tapestry of alien and human symbols intertwined. Dr. Elena Reeves, a melodious voice chimed, "Your expertise is urgently required. The Galactic Council requests your immediate presence on Zenith Prime." Elena's heart raced. Zenith Prime, the jewel of the galactic core and seat of the enigmatic Zenithian Empire. She had only read about the technologically advanced civilization in classified reports. "What's the nature of the emergency?" she asked, already reaching for her emergency go-bag. "A creature of great importance to the Zenithian royal family has fallen gravely ill. All attempts to treat it have failed. You are our last hope, Dr. Reeves." The gravity of the situation wasn't lost on Elena. Relations between Earth and the older spacefaring civilizations were still tentative. A success here could cement humanity's place among the stars. Failure, well, she preferred not to dwell on that possibility. "I'll need access to all available data on Zenithian biology," Elena said, her mind already racing through potential scenarios. "Everything we have will be transmitted to you en route. A shuttle is waiting to take you to the lunar spaceport. From there, you'll board the Galactic Council's fastest ship. Time is of the essence, Doctor." Elena nodded, adrenaline pushing aside her fatigue. "I understand. I'm on my way." The hologram flickered out, leaving Elena alone with the weight of her new responsibility. She took a deep breath, centering herself. This was what she had trained for, what she had dreamed of since she first looked up at the stars as a child and wondered what life might exist out there. Within minutes, Elena had packed her specialized equipment and boarded the waiting shuttle. As Earth's blue sphere shrank behind her, she immersed herself in the data streaming to her tablet. Zenithian physiology was unlike anything she had encountered before, a fascinatingly complex blend of silicon-based and carbon-based life. The lunar spaceport bustled with activity, a testament to humanity's growing presence in interstellar affairs. Elena barely registered the awed looks and whispers that followed her as she strode purposefully towards a sleek, silvery ship bearing the Galactic Council's insignia. Inside, she was greeted by a Volox, a species known for their diplomatic skills. The alien's iridescent scales shimmered as it bowed slightly. "Dr. Rees, I am Zix, your liaison for this mission. We are honored by your swift response." Elena inclined her head in return. "The honor is mine, Zix. I only hope I can be of help." As the ship hummed to life, preparing for the jump to faster-than-light travel, Elena felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. She was about to journey further from Earth than any human had before, to a world of wonders and dangers beyond imagination. The stars outside the viewport blurred into streaks of light as the ship accelerated. Elena turned to Zix, her expression determined. "Tell me everything you know about this creature and its illness. We don't have a moment to waste." Zix's multifaceted eyes glimmered with what Elena interpreted as respect. "Of course, Doctor. The creature in question is known as the Lumina. It is unique. A being of living crystal and energy, revered by the Zenithians as a symbol of their connection to the cosmos." As Zix began to detail the Lumina's known biology and the symptoms of its mysterious ailment, Elena listened intently, her mind already formulating hypotheses and potential treatment strategies. She knew that the fate of more than just one alien creature rested on her shoulders. The eyes of the galaxy were upon her, watching to see if humanity truly had a place among the stars. The ship raced on through the void, carrying Elena towards her greatest challenge yet. As Earth became a distant memory, she steeled herself for the trials ahead. Whatever Zenith Prime held in store, she was determined to prove that human ingenuity and compassion could shine even in the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Little did Elena know that her journey to save the Lumina would not only test the limits of her scientific knowledge, but also challenge her understanding of life itself. The mysteries of Zenith Prime awaited, and with them, an adventure that would reshape the future of human-alien relations forever. Journey to Zenith Prime. As the Galactic Council ship sliced through the fabric of space-time, Dr. Elena Rees found herself in a constant state of awe and preparation. The vessel's interior was a marvel of alien engineering, with corridors that seemed to shift and adapt to the needs of its diverse crew. Elena spent hours in the ship's xenobiology lab, a space that put even Earth's most advanced facilities to shame. Dr. Rees, Zix's melodious voice interrupted her thoughts. "We're approaching the Cassiopeia Nexus. You might want to witness this." Elena followed the Volux to the ship's observation deck. What she saw took her breath away. A massive, spiraling structure of light and energy sprawled before them, tendrils of cosmic radiation dancing around its edges. "The Nexus is an ancient transportation hub," Zix explained. "It allows for near-instantaneous travel between galaxies." As their ship glided towards the Nexus, Elena felt a mix of exhilaration and trepidation. They were about to journey further than any human had ever dreamed possible. The moment they entered the Nexus, Elena's world exploded into a kaleidoscope of colors and sensations. It felt as if every atom in her body was being gently pulled apart and reassembled. Just as quickly as it began, it ended. When Elena's vision cleared, she gasped. Before them lay Zenith Prime, a planet that defied description. Its surface seemed to shimmer and shift, great crystalline structures rising from swirling mists of iridescent gases. Orbiting the planet was a ring of what appeared to be pure energy, pulsating with an otherworldly rhythm. "Welcome to the heart of the Zenithian Empire, Dr. Rees," Zix said softly. As they began their descent, Elena's scientific mind went into overdrive. The planet's atmosphere was unlike anything she had studied before, a complex mixture of gases that by all rights shouldn't support life, and yet clearly did. Their ship docked in a vast hangar that seemed to be carved out of a single enormous crystal. As Elena stepped onto Zenithian soil for the first time, she felt a subtle vibration through her boots, as if the planet itself was alive. They were greeted by a delegation of Zenithians. Elena had seen images during her briefing, but nothing prepared her for the reality. The Zenithians were tall, graceful beings with skin that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. Their eyes, large and multifaceted, reflected the colors of their surroundings. The lead Zenithian stepped forward, its movements fluid and ethereal. Dr. Elena Rees of Earth, it spoke, its voice a harmony of tones. "I am Sa, Chief Scientist of the Royal Court. Your arrival brings hope in our darkest hour." Elena bowed slightly, careful to follow the protocol she had been briefed on. "I'm honored to be here, Chief Scientist Sa. I only hope I can be of help." As they moved through the Crystal City, Elena struggled to take in all the wonders around her. Buildings seemed to grow organically from the ground, their structures constantly shifting and adapting. Zenithians moved about their business, some walking, others gliding on platforms of pure energy. "The luminous condition worsens by the hour," Sa explained as they traveled in a vehicle that hovered silently above the crystalline roads. "It is not just a cherished creature, Dr. Rees. The Lumina is intricately connected to our world, our very way of life." Elena nodded, her mind racing. "I'll need to see it immediately. Can you tell me more about its normal biological functions?" As Sa began to explain, Elena realized the true complexity of her task. The Lumina wasn't just a living being, it was a symbiotic entity, interconnected with the planet's core energy field. Its illness wasn't just threatening its own existence, but the delicate balance of Zenith Prime itself. They arrived at the Royal Palace, a breathtaking structure that seemed to be made of light itself. As they entered, Elena felt a palpable sense of tension and worry from the Zenithians around her. A thunderous, keening cry echoed through the halls, causing the very walls to tremble. Elena's heart raced. That had to be the Lumina. "Prepare yourself, Dr. Reeves," Sa said solemnly. "What you are about to see may challenge everything you understand about life in this universe." As they approached the chamber housing the Lumina, Elena steeled herself. She had come further than any human before her, crossed the vastness of space to face this challenge. Whatever awaited her behind those doors, she was determined to rise to the occasion. The massive doors swung open, revealing a sight that would forever change Elena's perception of life and the cosmos. The Lumina, in all its alien glory and suffering, lay before her. And with it, the greatest challenge of her career, and perhaps the key to humanity's place among the stars. A royal challenge. The chamber housing the Lumina was vast, its walls pulsating with a soft bioluminescent glow. But Elena's attention was immediately drawn to the creature at its center. The Lumina was unlike anything she had ever encountered in her years of xenobiology research. It was massive, easily the size of a blue whale, but its form was constantly shifting. Its body seemed to be composed of living crystal, refracting light in mesmerizing patterns. Tendrils of pure energy oozed from its core, connecting to nodes embedded in the chamber walls. But even to Elena's untrained eye, it was clear the creature was in distress. Its crystalline form was dulled, the energy pulses erratic and weak. A regal Zenithian approached, her form more radiant than the others. Elena immediately recognized her as Queen Sarah from the briefing materials. "Dr. Reeves," the Queen's voice resonated with a mixture of authority and desperation. "You stand before the heart of our world. The luminous suffering threatens not just its own existence, but the very fabric of our civilization." Elena bowed deeply, acutely aware of the gravity of the situation. "Your Majesty, I promise to do everything in my power to help. Can you tell me when the symptoms first appeared?" As the Queen began to explain, Elena circled the Lumina, her mind racing to process what she was seeing. The creature's illness seemed to manifest as a corruption in its crystalline structure, spreading slowly but steadily throughout its form. "It began 3 cycles ago," Queen Sarah said, her luminous eyes filled with worry. "At first, it was just a small discoloration, but it has grown rapidly. Our best scientists have been unable to halt its progress." Elena nodded, her hand hovering over her scanner. "May I?" she asked, gesturing towards the Lumina. At the Queen's nod, Elena began her examination. Her scanner, although advanced by Earth standards, seemed almost primitive in the face of the Lumina's complexity. Still, it provided valuable data. "The corruption seems to be affecting the Lumina at a quantum level," Elena mused, her brow furrowed in concentration. "It's as if its very atomic structure is being rewritten." "Fa," the chief scientist stepped forward. "We've observed the same, but we've been unable to determine the cause or formulate a treatment." Elena's mind whirled with possibilities. This was beyond anything she had studied, beyond perhaps what any human had encountered. But she refused to be daunted by the challenge. "I'll need access to all your research data," she said, her voice firm with determination. "And I'd like to set up a temporary lab here, if possible. The closer I can work to the Lumina, the better." Queen Xelura nodded, a glimmer of hope in her ethereal features. "You shall have whatever you need, Dr. Reeves. Our fate rests in your hands." As the Zenithians bustled to accommodate her requests, Elena turned back to the Lumina. Its keening cry had subsided to a low, pained hum that seemed to resonate through her very bones. "Hold on," she whispered to the creature, not sure if it could hear or understand her. "I'm here to help." Over the next several hours, Elena immersed herself in the study of the Lumina. She pored over Zenithian research data, correlating it with her own observations. The more she learned, the more she realized how little she truly understood. The Lumina wasn't just a living being, it was a cornerstone of Zenithian existence. It regulated the planet's energy field, influenced weather patterns, and even played a crucial role in Zenithian reproduction. Its loss would be catastrophic. As the first of Zenith Prime's twin suns began to set, casting the crystal city in a breathtaking array of colors, Elena found herself no closer to a solution. The corruption in the luminous structure continued to spread, albeit slowly. Frustrated, Elena stepped away from her makeshift lab and approached the lumina once more. She placed her hand gently on its surface, feeling the faint vibrations of its life force. Suddenly, she felt a jolt, as if the lumina had recognized her touch. The chamber filled with a soft, pulsating light, and Elena felt a presence brush against her mind. Gasping, she stepped back. The Zenithians in the room looked at her with a mixture of surprise and reverence. What just happened?" Elena asked, her voice shaky. Queen Thyra approached, her eyes wide with wonder. "The Lumina reached out to you, Dr. Reeves. In all our history, it has never connected with a non-Zenithian before." Elena's mind reeled with the implications. This connection, unexpected as it was, could be the key to understanding the Lumina's illness. But it also meant that the pressure on her had just increased tenfold. She wasn't just a scientist anymore. She was now intimately linked to the creature she was trying to save. As the gravity of her task settled upon her, Elena took a deep breath. She had crossed galaxies for this moment. Human ingenuity had brought her this far, and she was determined to see it through. "All right," she said, turning to the assembled Zenithians with renewed determination. "Let's get back to work. We have a world to save." The challenges ahead were immense, but as Elena looked at the Lumina, feeling the echo of their brief connection, she knew she couldn't fail. The fate of Zenith Prime, and perhaps the future of human-alien relations, rested on her shoulders, and she was ready to face whatever came next. Alien anatomy. As the second sun of Zenith Prime rose, casting an ethereal glow through the crystalline structures of the royal palace, Elena found herself deep in concentration. Her makeshift lab had become a chaotic mix of Earth technology and Zenithian instruments, all focused on unraveling the mystery of the Lumina's illness. The connection she had experienced with the creature lingered in her mind, a constant reminder of the stakes involved. Elena had spent the night poring over data, correlating the Lumina's quantum structure with its biological functions. It was like trying to solve a multidimensional puzzle with pieces that constantly shifted. "Dr. Rees," Xar's harmonious voice broke through her concentration. "You've been working non-stop. Perhaps a rest would." Elena shook her head, her eyes never leaving the holographic display of the luminous cellular structure. "No time for rest, Xar. Every moment counts." The Zenithian scientist nodded, a gesture Elena had learned was a sign of respect among their kind. "Your dedication is admirable. What have you discovered?" Elena sighed, running a hand through her disheveled hair. "The Lumina's biology is incredible. It's not just a living creature, it's like a living quantum computer. Each of its crystalline cells seems to function as both biological unit and quantum processor." She manipulated the hologram, zooming in on a cluster of affected cells. "The corruption we're seeing, it's like a virus, but on a quantum level. It's rewriting the Lumina's quantum state, cell by cell." Xar's multifaceted eyes widened, fascinating and terrifying. How do we combat such an infection? Elena's brow furrowed. "That's the question, isn't it? Traditional medical treatments won't work here. We need to think beyond conventional biology." As if in response to their discussion, a low, mournful tone reverberated through the chamber. The Lumina's cry was weaker than before, its luminescence dimming visibly. Queen Xara entered the lab, her usual grace tinged with urgency. "Dr. Rees, the Lumina's condition is deteriorating rapidly. Our scientists report fluctuations in the planet's energy field. If we cannot stabilize it soon..." She didn't need to finish the sentence. Elena had seen the simulations. The collapse of the Lumina would lead to planetary-scale disasters, possibly rendering Zenith Prime uninhabitable. Elena stood, her fatigue forgotten in the face of this new urgency. "I need to examine the Lumina again. Our previous connection. I think it might be the key. The Queen nodded, leading the way to the luminous chamber. As they entered, Elena was struck by how much the creature's condition had worsened. Its once vibrant crystalline form was now dull, with visible fissures spreading across its surface. Taking a deep breath, Elena approached the lumina. She placed her hand on its surface, closing her eyes to focus. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, like a dam breaking, information flooded her mind. She saw flashes of Zenith Prime's history, the symbiotic relationship between the planet, the Lumina, and the Zenithians. She felt the creature's pain, its confusion at the foreign presence corrupting its being, and beneath it all, a desperate plea for help. Gasping, Elena stumbled back, supported by Xar's steady hand. I think I understand now, she said, her voice shaky but filled with newfound determination. The Lumina, it's not just sick, it's under attack. The corruption, it's not natural, it's artificial. Queen Axira's luminescence flickered with shock. An attack, but who ruled? Not who, Elena interrupted, her mind racing with the implications of her discovery. What? The Luna showed me. It's like a computer virus but evolved. Self-replicating, adaptive. It found its way into the luminous quantum network and has been slowly taking over. Xar's voice was filled with awe and fear. A quantum virus? Such a thing should not be possible. Elena nodded grimly. And yet, here we are. The good news is, now that we know what we're dealing with, we can start working on a cure. She turned to the assembled Zenithians, her eyes blazing with determination. I'm going to need access to your most advanced quantum computing facilities, and I'll need a team of your best programmers and physicists. Queen Axira nodded without hesitation. You shall have all the resources of our empire at your disposal, Dr. Reeves. As the Zenithians rushed to fulfill her requests, Elena turned back to the Lumina. She placed her hand once more on its surface, feeling the weak pulse of its life force. Hold on, she whispered. We're not giving up on you. The challenge ahead was immense. Elena would need to push the boundaries of human knowledge, combining her understanding of biology with cutting-edge quantum physics and computer science. But as she stood there, connected to this ancient, alien being, she felt a surge of confidence. This was why she had become a xenobiologist. This was why humanity had reached for the stars, to face the unknown, to solve the unsolvable, to help even when the odds seemed insurmountable. As Elena began to outline her plan to the Zenithian scientists, she knew that the real work was just beginning. The fate of an entire world hung in the balance, and time was running out. But if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was beating impossible odds. The race to save the Lumina, and with its Zenith Prime, was on. Race against time. The next few days blurred into a whirlwind of feverish activity. Elena found herself at the heart of a collaborative effort unlike anything in human history. The grand halls of the Zenithian quantum computing facility buzzed with a mix of alien and human voices, all united in their desperate quest to save the Lumina. Elena stood before a massive holographic display, her eyes darting between streams of data and simulations. She had barely slept, sustaining herself on a Zenithian energy drink that tasted like liquid starlight and packed the punch of 10 espressos. The quantum virus is adapting faster than we can counter it, she muttered, more to herself than to Xar, who stood beside her. Every time we think we found a way to neutralize it, it shifts its code. Dar's multifaceted eyes reflected the holographic data. Perhaps we are approaching this from the wrong angle, Dr. Reeves. We've been trying to destroy the virus, but what if we could redirect it? Elena's tired mind sparked with sudden inspiration. Redirect, Xar, you're a genius. We don't need to destroy it, we need to reprogram it. Her fingers flew over the alien interface, years of video gaming in her youth finally paying off as she navigated the complex Zenithian systems. If we can isolate a portion of the virus and alter its base code, we might be able to turn it against itself. As Elena and the team of Zenithian scientists worked tirelessly on this new approach, the situation on Zenith Prime grew increasingly dire. Reports flooded in of erratic weather patterns, fluctuating gravity fields, and disturbances in the planet's energy grid. The luminous deterioration was having far-reaching effects, just as they had feared. Queen Sarah visited the facility regularly, her regal composure showing cracks of worry and fatigue. Dr. Rees, I don't mean to add pressure, but our planetary systems are approaching a critical point. If we cannot stabilize the luminous soon— Elena nodded grimly, understanding the unspoken conclusion. We're close, Your Majesty. I promise you we won't give up. As she returned to her work, Elena felt the weight of an entire civilization on her shoulders. It wasn't just the Lumina or Zenith Prime at stake anymore. The outcome of this crisis would shape the future of human-alien relations for generations to come. Hours bled into days as Elena and her team worked tirelessly. They made progress in fits and starts, each small victory offset by new challenges. The quantum virus proved to be a formidable opponent, its adaptive capabilities pushing the limits of even Zenithian technology. On the fifth day, as Zenith Prime's twin suns aligned in a rare celestial event, Elena had a breakthrough. She had been dozing at her workstation, her dreams filled with quantum equations and alien code, when she jolted awake with a gasp. That's it, she exclaimed, startling the nearby Zenithian scientists. Her fingers flew over the interface, inputting a complex sequence of commands. We've been trying to rewrite the virus on a quantum level, but what if we use the Lumina's own crystalline structure as a conduit? Sar leaned in, his eyes widening as he grasped her idea. You propose to use the Lumina itself as a quantum computer to reprogram the virus. It's brilliantly simple and incredibly risky. Elena nodded, her excitement tempered by the gravity of what she was proposing. It's risky, yes. We'd essentially be using the Lumina's own infected systems to fight the infection. But at this point, I don't think we have any other choice. As the team began preparations for this daring procedure, Elena took a moment to step away. She found herself in the Lumina's chamber, standing before the great creature. Its once brilliant form was now a dull, fractured shadow of its former glory. Elena placed her hand on the Lumina's surface, feeling the weak pulse of its life force. I hope you can understand me, she said softly. What we're about to try, it's dangerous, but it's our best chance to save you, to save this world. She felt a faint flicker of acknowledgement in her mind, a weak but determined assent. The Lumina understood the risks and was willing to take them. Returning to the quantum facility with renewed determination, Elena addressed the assembled team of human and Zenithian scientists. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. We're going to use the Lumina's own quantum structure to rewrite the virus's code. It's going to take everything we've got, and then some. She looked around at the determined faces, alien and human alike. But if we succeed, we'll have done more than save a single being or even a planet. We'll have proven that together, across the boundaries of species and galaxies, there's no challenge we can't overcome. As the team took their positions and the final preparations were made, Elena felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. This was the moment everything had been building towards. Success would mean salvation for the Lumina and Zenith Prime. Failure, well, that wasn't an option she was willing to consider. With a deep breath, Elena placed her hands on the control interface. All right, everyone, let's make history. The procedure began, and with it, the most critical phase in their race against time. The fate of the Lumina, Zenith Prime, and perhaps the future of intergalactic cooperation hung in the balance. As the quantum systems hummed to life, Elena silently hoped that human ingenuity, combined with Zenithian technology, would be enough to face this unprecedented challenge. The risky procedure. The quantum computing facility thrummed with energy as Elena initiated the procedure. Holographic displays flickered with streams of data, a mesmerizing dance of light and information that represented their last hope for saving the Lumina and Zenith Prime. Establishing quantum link with the Lumina's core structure, Elena announced, her voice steady despite the tension that filled the room. Sar stood beside her, his alien features set in intense concentration as he monitored the Zenithian systems. As the connection solidified, Elena felt a familiar tingle in her mind, the luminous consciousness brushing against her own. But this time, the sensation was different, more intense. She realized with a start that she wasn't just communicating with the Lumina, she was becoming a part of the procedure itself. Dr. Rees, your neural patterns are aligning with the quantum field, Far said, his voice a mix of awe and concern. This is unprecedented. Elena nodded, her eyes fixed on the scrolling data before her. It's all right. I think this is supposed to happen. The Lumina is using me as a bridge. As the procedure progressed, Elena found herself in a strange mental landscape. She could see the quantum virus as a writhing mass of dark code, corrupting the beautiful crystalline structure of the Lumina's being. Guided by an instinct she couldn't quite explain, Elena began to direct the reprogramming efforts. In the physical world, her hands moved across the Zenithian interface with uncanny precision. The assembled scientists watched in amazement as human intuition and alien technology merged in a symphony of problem-solving. The virus is adapting, one of the Zenithian scientists called out. It's attempting to counteract our reprogramming efforts. Elena gritted her teeth, feeling the strain both mentally and physically. Then we adapt faster. Sar, increase power to the quantum relays. We need to outpace it. As Sar complied, Elena felt a surge of energy course through her. In her mind's eye, she saw the reprogrammed sections of the virus begin to turn on their corrupted counterparts. It was working, but the toll on both her and the Lumina was immense. Alarms began to blare throughout the facility. Dr. Rees, Queen Sarah's voice cut through the chaos. The planet's energy grid is fluctuating wildly. We're seeing widespread disruptions across Zenith Prime. Elena barely heard her, lost in the quantum battle raging within the Luminous systems. She could feel the creature's pain, its struggle against the invading force. But she also sensed its determination, its willingness to risk everything to save its world. We're almost there, Elena muttered, sweat beading on her forehead. Just a little more. Suddenly, a massive surge of energy pulsed through the system. Elena cried out, feeling as if her very atoms were being pulled apart and reassembled. The holographic displays exploded in a blinding flash of light, plunging the facility into darkness. For a moment, there was absolute silence. Then, slowly, emergency lights flickered to life. Elena found herself on the floor, Sar kneeling beside her with concern etched on his alien features. Dr. Rees, are you all right? He asked, helping her to sit up. Elena blinked, her mind reeling from the intensity of the experience. The Lumina, she gasped. Is it? Before Sar could answer, a low, melodious hum filled the air. It started softly but grew in strength, resonating through the facility and beyond. Elena felt it in her bones, a song of renewal and hope. Queen Syra burst into the room, her luminescence bright with excitement. The Lumina, it's healing. The corruption is receding. Elena struggled to her feet, leaning on Sar for support. We need to get to the main chamber, she said, her voice hoarse but filled with determination. As they made their way through the palace, Elena saw signs of the planet-wide crisis abating. The erratic energy fluctuations were stabilizing, and the very air seemed clearer, charged with a renewed vitality. When they entered the luminous chamber, Elena gasped in awe. The great creature was pulsing with brilliant light, its crystalline form restored to its former glory. Waves of energy radiated from it, washing over everything in gentle, healing pulses. Elena approached the Lumina, placing her hand on its surface. She felt a surge of gratitude and joy that brought tears to her eyes. In her mind, she heard a voice, not in words, but in pure emotion and imagery. It's thanking us, she said softly to the assembled Zenithians. And it's sharing something with me. Knowledge, I think. About itself, about your world. Queen Axira stepped forward, her eyes shining with unshed tears. Dr. Rees, you have done the impossible. You've saved not just the Lumina, but all of Zenith Prime. We are forever in your debt." Elena shook her head, feeling both exhausted and exhilarated. It wasn't just me. It was all of us, human and Zenithian, working together. And the Lumina itself, its strength, its willingness to fight, that's what really made the difference. As the implications of their success began to sink in, Elena realized that they had done more than just avert a crisis. They had opened a new chapter in intergalactic relations, proving that the combination of human ingenuity and alien wisdom could overcome even the most daunting challenges. The luminous song continued to fill the air, a testament to the power of cooperation, determination, and the unyielding spirit of life itself. As Elena looked around at the joyous faces of her Zenithian colleagues, she knew that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey of discovery and collaboration. The future, it seemed, was brighter than ever before. Triumph of human ingenuity. In the days that followed the Lumina's revival, Zenith Prime buzzed with a renewed energy. The planet's systems had stabilized, and the once dire situation had transformed into a celebration of life and interspecies cooperation. Dr. Elena Rees found herself at the center of it all, a human hero in an alien world. As Elena stood on a balcony overlooking the crystalline city, she marveled at how much had changed in such a short time. The knowledge the Lumina had shared with her during those crucial moments was still unfolding in her mind, revealing insights into quantum biology and cosmic interconnectedness that would keep Earth's scientists busy for decades. "Dr. Rees," Queen Exira's melodious voice called from behind her. "The Galactic Council representatives have arrived. They're eager to meet the human who saved Zenith Prime." Elena turned, still somewhat in awe of the Zenithian queen's ethereal beauty. "I'm ready," she said, smoothing down her Earth uniform, which now bore a special Zenithian insignia, a mark of honor bestowed upon her by the grateful civilization. The grand hall of the palace was filled with beings from across the galaxy. Elena recognized some species from her xenobiology studies, but many were completely new to her. As she entered alongside Queen Exira, a hush fell over the assembled dignitaries. A tall, silvery being stepped forward, the head of the Galactic Council. Its voice resonated with a depth that seemed to bypass Elena's ears and speak directly to her mind. "Dr. Elena Rees of Earth, you have accomplished something unprecedented in the history of our galactic community. Your actions have not only saved a crucial member of our alliance, but have also demonstrated the unique potential of humanity." Elena bowed her head slightly, feeling the weight of the moment. "Thank you, esteemed counselor, but I didn't act alone. This victory belongs to the spirit of cooperation between our species." The counselor's form shimmered with what Elena interpreted as approval. "Indeed, and it is this spirit that we wish to foster. The Galactic Council hereby extends an invitation to Earth to join our alliance as a full member." A murmur of excitement rippled through the crowd. Elena's heart raced at the implications. Earth, a full member of the Galactic Alliance. It was beyond anything she had imagined when she first set out on this journey. Queen Exira stepped forward, her luminescence bright with joy. "Furthermore, in recognition of Dr. Reed's contributions, we propose the establishment of an interspecies scientific exchange program. Zenith Prime will open its advanced facilities to human scientists, and we hope Earth will reciprocate." Elena could barely contain her excitement. "Your Majesty, esteemed counselor, this is more than we could have ever hoped for. On behalf of Earth, I can say that we would be honored to participate in such an exchange." As the formalities continued, Elena's mind raced with the possibilities. The exchange program would accelerate human scientific advancement by centuries, and Earth's full membership in the Galactic Alliance would open up new frontiers of exploration and diplomacy. Later, as the celebrations were in full swing, Elena found a quiet moment to visit the Lumina. The great creature's chamber was now a place of pilgrimage, with beings from across the galaxy coming to witness its restored splendor. As she approached, Elena felt the now familiar touch of the Lumina's consciousness. But this time, instead of pain or urgency, she sensed contentment and curiosity. "We did it, didn't we?" Elena said softly, placing her hand on the luminous, shimmering surface. "We faced the impossible and came out stronger." The lumina's response came not in words, but in a series of vivid mental images. Elena saw flashes of Earth's future, human scientists working alongside alien colleagues, starships bearing the flags of both Earth and the Galactic Alliance, new worlds and discoveries beyond imagination. As the vision faded, Elena felt a profound sense of purpose. She had come to Zenith Prime as a xenobiologist, eager to study alien life. She would return to Earth as an ambassador, a bridge between worlds. "Dr. Reeves." Far's voice broke through her reverie. "The shuttle to take you back to Earth is ready, but I hope you know that you always have a home here on Zenith Prime." Elena turned to her Zenithian friend, feeling a bittersweet mix of excitement to return home and sadness to leave this wondrous world. "Thank you, Xar, for everything. This isn't goodbye, though. It's just the beginning." As she boarded the shuttle, taking one last look at the crystalline spires of Zenith Prime, Elena felt a sense of profound gratitude. She had come seeking to save an alien creature and had ended up changing the course of human history. The shuttle lifted off, carrying her back to an Earth that would never be the same. As the stars streaked by, Elena smiled to herself. The human adventure among the stars had truly begun, and she couldn't wait to see where it would lead next. In proving that human ingenuity and compassion could shine even in the farthest reaches of the cosmos, Elena had opened a door to a future filled with endless possibilities. The galaxy, it seemed, was ready for humanity, and humanity was ready for the galaxy.